Hello everybody and welcome to my vlog number 2, righty-ho. It's a bit delayed, do apologise. It was supposed to come out on the weekend, however I've been having some issues with my webcam recording software. I've got a new webcam, don't know if you can tell. I've been using it for a week now, but the original software for the webcam didn't record in a file format that was compatible with Sony Vegas, and then I had to mess around with OBS settings to get a file format that would be compatible with Sony Vegas. So I finally managed to sit down here today, being Thursday, to get round to doing this vlog. And the reason why I'm recording it now is because about 2 hours ago I was sat at work. It's the hottest day of the year, 34 degrees here in the north, God knows what it's like in the south, and I thought to myself as I'm sat there sweltering at my desk, even though the aircon was on, thinking to myself, I think I'm going to go home. I think I'm going to take a half day and go home. So spoke to the manager and she gave me the permission to be able to go home and enjoy this sunshine. And how am I enjoying it? Cooped up inside at my computer desk. But I've got the windows open, which is a rarity, because I don't like flying creatures, wasps, moths, flies, anything that flies into the room. Not a big fan, so I generally keep my windows closed, but I've got them wide open. The blinds are open, hence my glasses are slightly tinted. That's as much enjoyment as I need. I may even go downstairs, pour myself a nice rum and coke later with some ice in, and just sip away whilst playing some Stardew Valley. What better way to spend your Thursday, right? So yes, this vlog is going to contain mostly channel updates, which is not kind of what I wanted to do in these things, but quite a few things have happened, and I need to update you with some things, and therefore rather than do a vlog and then a separate video update, I'm just going to go and kind of mishmash it all into one. Timing wise, 25 minutes. That's as much time as I've given myself, and that's more than enough time, hopefully, to get through everything. Try and keep it under 20 if I can, but you know what I'm like. So, weather. Hot topic for us Brits is always the weather. No matter where we are in the world, we talk about the weather because we're obsessed with it. I don't know what it is. Has any other country got this issue where every conversation revolves around the weather? If you're in a taxi with a taxi driver and you're struggling to strike up a conversation, the surest way to break the ice is just to talk about the weather. The weather could be doing anything at that moment in time, and it'll provide an icebreaker. You know, we are obsessed. But I mean, when the weather is like this, 34-degree heat. I mean, we're not accustomed to this in this country. We don't have air-conditioned houses. We don't. It's like when it snows. When there's a thin layer of snow, we struggle. You've got countries like Sweden, Norway, all the Iceland, all the kind of Scandinavian countries. They get snow regularly, so their infrastructure is used and prepared for that. We're not. One slight smattering, the whole damn system shuts down. It's the same with the heat. We can't function. People just you know, it's just not good. So I mean, I do like the heat. I prefer to be hot than cold. I hate being cold. Don't know about what your opinions are on these things, but you know, when I'm hot like this, I like to be on a beach somewhere or by a pool, on a cruise ship preferably, with something cold in my hand. When you're trying to go about your daily business in this heat, it's not quite so pleasant. But I mean, when you're sat at home with your windows open, about to be sipping on something nice, it's not too bad. So if you are off work today, or you have been off work, or indeed if you have been at work, let me know what you've been doing in the glorious sunshine. I think there's one more day left of this weather, and then Saturday, typical English weather of course, when it's the weekend, when we can actually enjoy the weather with our friends because everyone's off work for the most part, it's going to be raining, and the temperature is dropping right down. Sad face. So that's the weather. Sporting news. Football season is only 2 weeks away. Exciting times for us football fans. Leeds United, I'm a big Leeds fan. And I say big Leeds, I'm not like a diehard. Oh, I like Leeds United. I follow them. You know, there's a bit of... has it been a good transfer window, bad transfer window? The general consensus is the team is not as strong as it was last season. Pontus Jansson is gone. We're looking at offloading a keeper now, apparently. We've brought in one very young centre-back and a pretty good winger in Helder Costa. Other than that, it's pretty much the same team as last season. So a lot of people are up in arms. Oh, bloody Radrizani, he's not spending money. Who knows? It's a bit of a strange one. With a couple more signings, I'd be much more confident that we're going to have potentially have a good season. But like a lot of people, I'm not quite as doom and gloom as a lot of people, but I'm like, the issue that we have is injuries. Because of the way that Bielsa works with the team and puts them through their paces, and he sticks with the same team every week, mainly, people picked up injuries last season like it was going out of fashion. And the same is already happening this season. Roof, one of our main strikers, is out injured already. One of our defenders, wing-backs, is out injured. Tyler Roberts, our potential number 10, wherever he plays usually, is out injured now. From back into last season, I believe. So already they're creeping in, and because of the threadbare nature of the squad, I mean that's people's beef. We don't have enough squad depth, so I'm kind of like, I don't know. Do I look forward to this season, or is it going to be a continuation of last season where it's just going to be scrimping and scraping a team together with people that are injured? I don't know. So I'm kind of like, I don't know what to expect. I'm in a kind of a limbo situation. Not quite looking forward to the season as if we're going to be going up, and not quite doom and gloom, but somewhere in the middle. I mean, the bookies have us as favourites, or they did last time I looked. I mean, which I think is absolutely ludicrous, but there you go. So, as a true person that does like to sports trade and follow the markets, given the prohibitive price that you can get on Leeds to get promoted this season, it's worth a lay. It's worth a lay. Not that I'm condoning people getting involved in that kind of stuff, but I will be putting a lay bet on my own team not to get promoted. So there you go. There's the football news. In terms of sporting greatness, I mean, not last weekend, but the weekend before. Why am I picking up a pen? I don't know. What a sporting day. Probably one of the best sporting days I could remember in my bloody sporting history, to be honest with you. We had the great Wimbledon final between Federer and Djokovic. We had the great Cricket World Cup final that went down to a super over. England ended up winning it. And we had a pretty decent British F1 race that Lewis Hamilton won, much to my delight as a fan. Some people not fans of his because of the domination of Mercedes and whatever else, so some people don't like him, but for me it was a great weekend, and it was 3 really good sporting events, really, and just the epicness, especially of the tennis and of the cricket. What sporting drama in one day. I mean, for people, their hearts must have been... Somebody somewhere, most people in this country somewhere, if you're a sporting fan, will have had their hearts in their mouths at some point. It was just so tense. But yeah, it was good fun. And then last weekend, completely and utterly nothing. It was just complete anti-climax to the week before. There was no had any sport on at all. It was a right big come down. And this weekend we've got another Formula 1 race, and I don't know what else is on, but I think there's some cricket going on at the moment, England versus Ireland. I'm not actually an England cricket fan. Growing up with my dad, who was Jamaican, I'm more of a West Indies fan, but I don't follow cricket massively anyway. But yeah, that's a bit of tidbit of information for you. Yes, got some good sports this month. Right, moving swiftly on. I'm loath to bring up politics news because I'm not a big politics person, but new Prime Minister is in power, taking doing his first delivery to the House of Commons. Good old Boris Johnson. I mean, all I'm going to say on this appointment is I sit back with the popcorn to wait to see what happens, and that's as much as I'm going to say on that issue, but it'll be interesting to see what happens on that front. Yeah. But as somebody said at work, it's well and good sitting back with your popcorn, watching the show unfold. What you've got to appreciate is it's better to do that when you're not actually in the car crash itself. Actually being present in this country while it's happening, perhaps not quite a celebration for sitting back and watching things maybe go wrong, or maybe not, who knows. So there's a bit of politics for you. Right, we're going to switch now to the channel-based stuff, because there's been a couple of things going on. Right, so we're going to start with the poll that happened for the next live stream series. And what happened with that about 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago? put a poll up, put a vote up as to what would be the next live stream series, and there were 5 selections on there. And for 4 days, I put it up on a Sunday, I think, and on the for 4 days, the usual voting pattern happened. And I've done enough of these votes. Oh, can you hear the birds tweeting? It's just so beautiful. It's what British summer at its finest. All it's missing is a glass of Pimm's and some strawberries and cream. Random. Right, okay, so yeah, so the regular pattern of voting happened, the downward curve, you get all the votes at the front end, and then it tails off as the days progress. I was following it, pretty much checking in twice a day to see what was going on with the votes. And, you know, there wasn't much change between the top 3, but the top 3 at all times pretty much were This Is the Police, RimWorld and XCOM 2. XCOM 2 was up in the lead for the early parts, and then RimWorld sort of crept up, This Is the Police crept up, and on Wednesday evening, after the Wednesday directly after the poll had been put up, so what, three days later, I checked the vote, I checked the results, and RimWorld was first, This Is the Police was second, and XCOM was third, and thought, oh, that's rather interesting. The other 2 have kind of pushed up a little bit, but there was only like 5 votes between the top 3. It was really close. And then on Thursday morning I was at work and I checked the Discord server. You know how you do when you're at work and you're supposed to be working, you're on your phone. And I checked checking the Discord server, and somebody had said round about 9 o'clock that night, Wednesday night, that it was close between the 3 of them, which is what I had seen a few hours previous. It was close. And then 4 hours later, somebody else had put a message on the Discord server to say that XCOM was well out in front. So, that's not quite what I saw last, and let me just have a look at this. So I had a look, and lo and behold, XCOM had shot up to the lead with an additional 20 votes. When compared with the other 2, which didn't seem to receive any votes. Now, call me sceptical, as somebody that's worked as a police officer, doing investigation work into crimes, and now is working for the HMRC, also doing investigation work. So I've got an investigative background, but call me sceptical, but that seemed to me to be slightly suspicious. As I said, general downward trend of voting pattern. You don't tend to get 20 votes all of a sudden out of the blue, when the rest of the time the votes have tailed off. You're getting sort of 4 or 5 a day, if that. So it was an anomaly, shall we say, and all going towards one game, XCOM 2, these votes went to. So, you know, I had to look at it on the balance of probabilities. Civil burden of proof, if you will, is the balance of probabilities. Out of all the possibilities, what is the most probable outcome? There's 2 probable outcomes. The first one is those 20 votes were legitimate. The second outcome was those 20 votes were not legitimate. Now, basically I came to the conclusion, like most people would do at that stage, and given what had happened and the short space of time it had happened, that those 20 votes weren't legitimate. I mean, 20 votes in a 4-hour period when the poll is dying down, all in one game? Come on. Highly probable that is suspicious play, foul play. So on the balance of probabilities, that was my findings, and therefore as a result of that I had to determine what I was going to do about the next live stream series, and I chose to disqualify, if you will, XCOM 2 by taking the last snapshot of the poll when I had last seen it on the Wednesday afternoon around about 4 o'clock, and that had RimWorld first, This Is the Police in second. Now, because the vote hadn't finished, I didn't know which one to pick. It was so close between them, only 2 votes between the top 2, so I decided to go for the old random number generation outcome. Leave it in the hands of the RNG gods. So I decided that live on camera I would do this, and actually did it on my Not Tonight Part 4 live stream, so if you want to check that out, just the first 5 to 10 minutes is me doing the old RNG. Did it live on camera, so there was no other suspicion, no other calamity. I was doing it open and honest. So on the camera here, I did the random number generator. It was between 0 and 100, so 0 to 50 was going to be RimWorld, and 51 to 100 was going to be This Is the Police, and the RNG gods emphatically wanted This Is the Police because they give me 100. No, not 99, not 84, not 52. No, they give me 100 as if to say, this is the game you're playing. No questions asked. So that was the winning live stream series. This is the police, and it will be starting on Tuesday, the upcoming Tuesday. So not long to go. So that was a bit of Polegate drama, and it does put it leaves me, as people will, as your dad or your parents would say to you, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. No, don't be disappointed. Be angry. Hit me. Don't give me that disappointed face. It's playing with my emotions. I am disappointed. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed because I'm assuming that it is foul play. I mean, there's a slight chance it's not, but more than likely it is. And it's disappointing to think that somebody has gone to the lengths to either set up a VPN, a proxy, a bot, get 20 of their mates to vote, or whatever's happened. And for someone to go to that lengths to doctor the poll is rather disappointing indeed. So it does cast doubt into whether or not or how I will go about any sort of future votes, really. If this kind of thing happens. But it also goes to show the stupidity of some people, because rather than try and be more savvy with your doctoring, maybe throw a few votes here, a few votes there, a few votes here, spread it out over the course of the life of the poll, because I did say that I was going to be announcing the results on the following Monday, so they had about another 3 or 4 days to go. They could have spread those 20 votes out to look a bit more natural. Not that I'm giving you tips as to how to do this in future, of course, but they could have made it look more natural, maybe toss a few votes to some of the other selections as well, just make it look a bit more natural. But to wang 20 in on one game in a space of 4 hours, I mean, come on. We're not stupid here. So, yeah, anyway, forget about that. But this is the police starting on Tuesday, and I'm looking forward to it. Ex-police officer. Good stuff. Apparently it's a really good game as well, and I think you can also name some of the officers and stuff, so you can get some of the viewers involved with some naming and things. So I'm really looking forward to it. So hopefully you are too. I have a thumbnail already arranged for this, so there's no need for a thumbnail from people. I've got a thumbnail. Somebody has kindly. Oh my god! Okay, sorry. I'm going to keep that on for your viewing pleasure. I thought it was a wasp. It's just a fly. I've got a phobia of wasps, as you'll find out from Stardew Valley. It's going up on the same day as this video. One flew into my room last night whilst I was playing Stardew Valley. Caused me to have to get up and get out of the room and get some fly spray. But it's fine, it's just a fly. Right, okay. Compose yourself. Regain your manly demeanour. Excuse me, that didn't happen. It's put me right out of my flow now. Right, okay, moving swiftly on to something new then. This is the police is done. The thumbnail is Uncle Mozilla's done the thumbnail. Thank you very much for that. Right. Where are I? Stardew Valley. Yes, Stardew Valley. I love that game. I don't know what it came out of left field. Won the side stream series and decided to play it, and I am absolutely in love with it. Absolutely in love with it. To the point where I'm finding myself struggling to only upload it on the weekend. I've got to admit, waiting a whole week to play it is like torture. Anyway, I'll go into that a little bit more in a second, as I will now go on to the final bit of channel news, which is regarding Patreon. And I've got like 2 minutes to do it, to bring it under 20 minutes, but I said 25, so it's fine. Patreon news. There's no new Patreons signed up since the first tranche, so there's nobody else to thank, but I will offer a blanket thank you once again to those of you who signed up initially. Thank you for your support. And as I said in the sort of early videos, and as I've got up on my Patreon homepage, is that any of your donation, any of your support is going to be put straight back into the channel, and I'm going to use that money to purchase things for the channel. So I'm updating you now with what I've purchased with your donations. Although I haven't cashed out the donations yet, I've already purchased the stuff in preparation. So first of all, new webcam. That was the priority. And it was rather interesting because I was looking for a new webcam in preparation for purchasing it around about the 1st of August. And then I was alerted to Amazon Prime Day, which is actually 2 days, Amazon Prime Day, where loads of products on Amazon are on a knockdown price for Amazon Prime members. And I thought, oh, it's the first time I've got Amazon Prime properly. So I thought, I'll check that out. There may be some webcams on there. Probably not the ones I'm looking for. And the two I was looking at the time was the Logitech C920 and the C922 ProStream series. So I was looking at those two. There's about a £20 difference between the two on Amazon at the time. The 920 was around £55 and the 922 was 70 something. So I was weighing up the pros and cons of both before making a decision. Amazon Prime Day What was on offer? The C920, reduced to £25. That made my mind up for me because I couldn't pass up on that offer. Rather than paying 55 for it or even 70 for the C922, to get this one that you're seeing now, the C920, for 25 quid, much less than half the recommended price and less than half the price as I last saw it, was a no-brainer. So 25 quid of your support has gone towards this new webcam on a knockdown price. I've purchased the next live stream series as well, which is the police, for a knockdown price again of only £3.50 compared to its recommended price of £13.99, I think it was. So that's saving £10 there. I've saved £20 odd at least on the webcam, or £30 on the webcam, so that's like £40 in savings. And I've purchased one more thing, which is not quite for the channel 100%, but it's based on the channel, and I hope you'll forgive me for this. But I have purchased myself a Stardew Valley mug because I love the game so much. I love tea, Earl Grey tea particularly. I had to purchase a Stardew Valley mug so that when we have the next Stardew Valley live stream, which hopefully won't be too long because I really enjoy the game, and when I'm playing some of the recorded sessions, I'm going to be sipping my Earl Grey whilst playing with my Stardew Valley mug, and it's coming in the next sort of 5 days. I'm really looking forward to receiving it. I do like a good mug, and I haven't looked forward to receiving a mug as much as this since somebody kindly gifted me the I Love DD Metal Gear Solid 5 mug back at Christmas 2015. So that's how much I'm looking forward to this one. I'm really looking forward to it. I do like a good mug every now and then. So yeah, that's the 3 things that I purchased with your support, and as I hope you can appreciate, just like in real life, I like a bargain and I don't like to be ripped off, and I go to hell and high water to get things at a discount price. Bills, insurances, Virgin, Sky, all that kind of stuff. I'm always hounding them for the best offer. When I'm shopping for things, I always price compare with different sites. I sometimes wait for sales and things like that. I don't spend money willy-nilly, and your support that you're giving me is not going to be spent willy-nilly. And I hope you'll agree, I've made at least £40 worth of savings to stretch that support as far as it can possibly go. So once again, thank you, and I'll let you know in the next vlog if I've purchased anything else for the channel from your support money. So there we go. I think that's just about brought us into under 25 minutes. I can't think of anything else I wanted to discuss. I haven't made a list on my screen to keep me on track, but hey ho, I think I've covered most things. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of what is left of the sun. If you're in England, enjoy wherever you are, enjoy the upcoming weekend, and until next time, I shall see you soon.